és a létezésem elköszön. Nem tudom, hogy meddig tart az élet, reggelig még megkereslek téged. Remélem, te biztosan megérted, tényleg meg kell halnom, érted? A száddal szeretsz, szíveddel beszélsz, mindig ott hagysz, hogyha tetten érsz. Nélkülem kell folytatnom tovább, átvetted a szívem ritmusát. Sosem néztem a fénybe, a harcnak vége, a lelked úszik széle, áthatolt a bőrömön, és a létezésem elköszön. Nem tudom, hogy meddig tart az élet, reggelig még megkereslek téged. Remélem, te biztosan megérted, tényleg meg kell halnom, érted? Meg kell halnom, érted? Meg kell halnom, érted? Igazán lehúz, egy percig felemel, mert nincs visszaút, lassan leteped, majd igazán lehúz, egy percig felemel, mert később nincs visszaút, ebből nincs kiút, igazán lehúz. Majd igazán lehúz, egy percig felemel, mert később nincs visszaút, ebből nincs kiút, lassan leteped. Nélküled nem fordulok.
So I've got my essay written, and I've
Nélküled nem.
A resident.
All right. Oh, goodness. I forgot my water bottle. Sorry, one more song.
Of the villages said.
Alright, here we come. Union makes us strong. Alright, it is time to begin. Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. How we doing? So today I'm looking at Monster Mash. Doop-doo. The chat window keeps doing a weird thing where it keeps saying welcome to the chat room over and over and over again, like it has to keep reconnecting. It's weird. Hopefully it's not an issue. Let's see. There we go. I was working in my lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and then suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash, and it caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash from my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. All the ghouls came from their humble abodes just to catch a jolt from my electrodes. We did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash and did the mash. He did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. And then the guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. I guess he has a son. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh, The scene was rockin', all were digging the sounds. Igor on chain, backed by some baying hounds. Then the coffin bangers were about to arrive with their new vocal group, the Kip Kicker Five. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. shout from his coffin. Drax's voice did ring, seems he was troubled by just one thing. Well, the old man opened the lid, and then he shook his fists and said, "Whatever happened to the Transylvania twist? It's now the mash. It's now the monster mash, the monster mash. And it's a graveyard smash, ain't it the mash? You'll catch on in a flash, just do the mash, just do the monster mash." Alright, yeah, that's easy enough to fuck around with. I still don't get what the hell's going on with my Twitch chat. Like, people watching, you can, like, see me and the chat isn't constantly resetting for you, is it? Because the chat is just constantly going, welcome to the chat room, over and over for me. That's weird. Okay, it's just my shitty computer, I guess. Alright. It's not a shitty... Well, it wasn't a shitty computer until today. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, there were serious technical issues yesterday, believe me. Woohoo. Alright, let's fuck with some zombie. Another head hangs lonely, child is slowly taken. The violins cause such silence, who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting. Alright, that's a little too high this early in the day, I think. Let's see. I'll take that down a step or two. Another head hangs slowly, child is slow. Another head hangs slowly, child is slowly taken. The violins cause such silence, who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. It's in your head, zombie, 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 baby. It's in your head, zombie, 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 oh, 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 oh. Another mother's breaking heart is taken over. When the violence causes silence, we must be mistaken. It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. In your head,
That works for me. Alright, let's pop it up a step. This is a good wake-up song. Another head hangs lowly, child is slowly taken, and the violence caused such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. It's in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. It's in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Oh, 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 no, no, Another mother's breaking heart is taking over. The violence because of silence, we must be mistaken. It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. It's in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. It's in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Oh, 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 oh. Oops. Alright. See, I think C minor is probably the lower one will probably be my regular go-to, but it's nice to know I can do it almost in her key. And you know what? Just to fuck around a bit, I am gonna try it in her key. Oh, also, for the record, I have this command fixed, so if you want to scream. Huh. Oh, shit, it didn't work. That's unsettling. One moment, please. Okay, now I think I've got a connectivity issue. Sorry, 1 second, everyone. There we go. Alright, that's resolved. Normally when you type scream, you can make a big screaming noise, but it didn't do that. Okay, what's next? That's good Cranberries practice for now, I think. I don't want to push too much on that song or I might hurt myself. Alright. Oh, I put a spell on you is almost ready.
Engage.
Oh, thank you for the host. Oh, watch out for the... Whoa! Okay, I guess you're all right. Thank you for the host, Discount Seth Rogen. How you doing? Howdy, howdy. We're about halfway through my warm-up, and in a half hour the music set will start. But right now I'm just practicing songs. How about you? How are you doing? I was gonna practice Psycho Killer, but I don't think I actually want to be honest. Sorry. Hey, Bread Crochet too. Let's get some shout outs going for everyone. I'll get a shout out for the lab and a shout out for Bread Crochet, shall we? Alright. Let's see. There's another piece I wanted to practice and now I'm spacing on what it was. What was it? Not that one. Let's see. Okay, there's one. What was the other one I wanted to work on? Bread Crochet too. Where I'll fight him. Nice. Alright, let's see. Let's do Monster Mash one more time, but on a different sound.
I was working in my lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab did begin to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. Oh, the ghouls came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. He did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun, and the guests they included a wolfman, and then Dracula and his son. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The scene was rockin', all were digging the sounds. There was Igor on chains, backed by some baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their new vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, but then out from his coffin Drag's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just the one thing. He opened the lid and he shook his fist and he said, "Whatever happened to the Transylvania twist? It's now the mash. It's now the monster mash, the monster mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It's now the mash. And it caught on in a flash. It's now the mash. It's now the monster mash. Oh, everything's cool. Drac's part of the band, and my monster mash is the hit of the land. Of you, the living, this mash was meant to. And when you get to my door, tell them Mitnard sent you. To do the mash, to do the monster mash, the monster mash, and do the graveyard smash. Then you can mash, and you'll catch on in a flash. You do the mash. Just do the monster mash, the monster mash. You'll do the monster mash, the monster mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It's now the mash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can mash. You'll do the monster mash.
feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good about that. Let's see. What was the other thing I was going to work on today? I think I didn't list it. I'm locked inside. Maybe not that one. Gotta get up. Bus a flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. I was feeling near as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before rain. Rode us all the way to New Orleans. Pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. It's playing soft while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that the driver knew. Well, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, it ain't nothing. Nothing, it ain't nothing. And if it ain't free, then feeling good was easy, Lord. Oh, when he sang the blues, you know, feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me, my Bobby McGee. From Kentucky's coal mines to the California sun, yeah, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Lords of weather through everything we drove, yeah, Bobby baby kept me from the cold. Then one day up near Salinas, Lord, I let him slip away. He's looking for that home, and I hope he finds it. Well, I'd trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday, to be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Well, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And nothing, it ain't nothing. Oh, shit. Nothing left to lose. And nothing, and that's all Bobby left me. Well, feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues. And feeling good was easy enough for me. It was good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da da da. La da da da. My Bobby McGee, oh yeah. La da da. La da da da. La da da da. My Bobby McGee, oh yeah. La da da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. My Bobby McGee, oh yeah. La da da. Bobby McGee.
I haven't figured out how I want to end that yet. Sorry, that probably didn't sound great. I was crunching the mic pretty hard for that. Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. Let's see. Some tea. I had a Halloween themed one that I'm spacing on right now. Oh well. Well, I have one that's not on my list that I feel like playing, so I'm going to do that, and then we'll take a short break, and then the set will start. All right.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. A needle tears a hole, the old familiar stain. Try to kill it all the way, but you remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end.
And you can have it all. My empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
I wear this crown of shit upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feeling disappears. You are someone else, while I'm still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end.
And you can have it all. My empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find
A way.
Good times, good times. Violent femme song about the teenagers getting eaten by the toll booth monster. Oh, I don't think I know that one. Definitely send me a link. I'll check it out. Actually, I'm gonna... There's a song I want to sing along to, so I'm gonna play the track back and try my best to sing along to it. We'll see how well that goes. One sec. La la la. Come on, come on. There we go. What the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. Please hold for just a moment. Alright, one moment. I'm about to get a refresh. Alright, let's give this a try. So this is a piano adaptation I created of Coma White by Marilyn Manson. It should be... Oh, hello. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's give this one a try. See if it works like I want it to. There we go.
was something cold and blank behind her smile. Standing on an overpass in her miracle mile, and you were from a perfect world, a world that threw me away today, to run away. A pill to make you numb, a pill to make you dumb, a pill to make you anybody else. But all the drugs in this world won't save her from herself. Whoa, 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 whoa. Her mouth was an empty cup, and she was waiting to fall, bleeding like a Polaroid that had lost all the dolls. 'Cause you were from a perfect world, a world that threw me away today, to run away. A pill to make you numb, a pill to make you dumb, a pill to make you anybody else. But all the drugs in this world won't save her from herself. Okay, that didn't go too bad. Alrighty, well, so I'm gonna start the set in just a moment. Hang on, let's pull up my intermission. So we'll start the whole set in about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna use a bathroom, get a drink, blah blah blah. If y'all expect this to be a particularly intense experience for y'all, I recommend the same. Otherwise, I will see everybody very, very shortly. Oh, one moment. There we go. Not that one. Come on.
Some things in life are never for sure, but one thing's always guaranteed. When a car comes knocking at your door, it's not for something that you need, 'cause they're always blind when it's actually a crime. And if you're lucky, they're only there to waste your time.
All right, let's see how this goes with this mask. It kind of covers my mouth a little, but I think we will be okay. You may recognize this mask from a particular video game, and that's on purpose. Hey everybody, how's it going, y'all? I whipped this together last night. How's it look? Let's see, what's next? We got... Damn, this makes my nose itch. Okay. Hey, Trash, how you doing? Well, right now, I am Link from the Zelda series, and I'm going to be playing some fun music. So let's get started. Let's, Oh, one moment. Let's move in a little more than that. Like this scene? Hang on a moment. How about this scene? Hey, everybody. Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where we stand. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear, while Cloud Rains was the invisible man. But something really went wrong for Fairy and King Kong. They got a caught in a celluloid jam. Then at a deadly pace, it came from outer space. And this is how the message ran. Science fiction, double feature. Dr. X will build a creature. See androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. At the late night double feature picture show. Well, I knew Leo G. Carroll was over a barrel when Tarantula took to the hills, and really got hot when I saw Jeanette Scott fight a Triffid that spits poison and kills. Dana Andrews said prunes gave him the runes, and passing them used lots of skill. But the worlds collide, and George Paul to his bride. I'm gonna give you some terrible thrills, like a science fiction double feature. Dr. X will build a creature. See androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and then Francis stars in Forbidden Planet.
at the late night double feature picture show. I wanna go to the late night double feature picture show by RKO. To the late night double feature picture show. Go to the late night double feature picture show. There we go. That came out okay, I think. Alright, what's next? That's the question, isn't it? Okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna ditch the mask for this one. Or at least for a little while. You can just have Link all natural. Alright. This is one that seems best for this environment. I'm tired of conversations with my friends and family about what they think the future holds for my partners and me. Believe me, folks, I've known exactly what they're driving at, and unfortunately my answer tends to leave them somewhat flat. Unsubtle hints are met with awkwardness, till I feel I am required to profess I don't want kids, I just want pets. And I can't foresee that this will be one of my great regrets. Your kids are fine, 'cause they're not mine. To me, a life lived without children sounds divine. I always make excuses when folks arrive with their baby. There's nothing I dread more than someone handing it to me, but declining the offer to have it rested on your knee can make one a pariah within polite society. The room looks round at you with sheer dismay, and no one will believe you when you say, I don't want kids, I just want pets. And I can't foresee that this would ever be one of my great regrets. Your kids are fine, 'cause they're not mine. To me, a life lived without children sounds divine. I know children can be fun, and yes, yours I'm very fond of, that is true. But the advantage is that when I grow weary of their noise, I can direct them back to you. I don't want kids, I just want pets, and I can't foresee that this would ever be one of my great regrets. Your kids are fine, 'cause they're not mine. To me, a life lived without children sounds divine. Told no lady, and she went off like you had told her you'd killed and eaten your mother. Dang.
Yeah, my family has made their peace with it, I think. I think my dad wants grandkids more than my mom, to be honest. But my sister might accomplish that for them. But my sister and I are both the kind of people who are more likely to adopt than we are to breed, I think. If you're waiting on the world to change, I think you've misunderstood. See, it's people make the world change in any way they could. And waiting for the change is how you kill the folk who need it. See, there's always good work on the ground, and waiting might defeat it. So why be waiting on the world to change? Don't be waiting on the world to change. The wealthy buying broken laws, they ain't taking any pause. Don't be waiting, it leaves them all the world for change. So have you read the union contract that your town signed with cops? Because it might be worth distributing around the churches and the shops. And do they really need all that they got there in the big box store? I'm just saying that they're well insured and others need it more. So why be waiting on the world to change? Don't be waiting on the world to change. You just build a small solution where you can't make a revolution. But don't be waiting, it leaves them all the world for change. You could find out where the fascists are meeting and give the place a call. It takes 2 parts flour, 3 parts water to stick posters to a wall. Now legal isn't right or wrong, it's who the cops protect. And who they don't will need all of our action, remote and direct. So I'd be waiting on the world to change. Don't be waiting on the world to change. Never need to pander when your deed's the propaganda. So don't be waiting, go out and get the world to change. Don't be waiting on the world to change. Why be waiting on the world to change? You build a small solution where you can't make a revolution. Don't be waiting, go out and get the world to change. Now, I got a story to tell you, so gather round, everybody. Oh, great. There everybody is. We're told that after the war, the Nazis vanished without a trace. But battalions of fascists still dream of a master race. The history books all tell of their defeat in 45. But they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. See, the prisoner at Spandau was a symbol of defeat. So while Hess remained imprisoned, all the fascists they were beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. Then why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? They became police and senators with dog whistle and hate. They send out their calls for genocide and disguise them as debate. There's new ones on the internet with hate to capitalize. They just keep coming out of the woodwork and they're barely in disguise. The planet is filled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're coming into the boardrooms and they're rich and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what you say. You tell them how the Nazis never really went away. No, they're out there shooting synagogues up, getting elected president and peddling lies. And oh, we'll never rest again until every
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. Then my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sounds of silence. Fools, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence.
All right. It's time for some cringe, everybody. Are we ready? Because this is some real cringe. Oh, and if anyone... this is apparently the song for Debate Bros, as established earlier today. Oh, I love Sounds of Silence, too. I cried when they shot Tamir Rice. The tears ran down my smartphone. I raged at Breonna Taylor's murder as it played on the corporate news shows. But Jacob Blake got what was coming. He should have just complied, you know. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I support those BLM marchers, just don't be unfair to the cops. I'll take a knee with dear Colin, at least till the complaining stops. But I won't use the word abolition. Reform is good, but defund is not. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I cheered when Joe Biden won it, my faith in the system restored. Now life can just go back to normal. The empire's not evil anymore, and we'll acknowledge marginalized people long
is they don't move next door. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I read the New York Times and WAPO. I get my China news from BBC. I don't understand Breitbart readers, but Fox News can make sense to me. Oh, and you poor fools getting news from Facebook. What's your problem? Don't you own a TV? So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Some of my family's anthem, too. I think that good healthcare is needed. It isn't just meant for rich snobs. Citizens all should afford it. And right now we're all getting robbed. Oh, but don't you dare say single payer. We'd lose all those insurance jobs. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I don't hate the South, they're just stupid. You can tell by their accents and ways. The workers, the black and the brown folks, if they'd all just vote Dem, they'd be saved. And if you tell me y'all is inclusive, I go into a white-hot rage. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Don't talk about Israel or Palestine. The very words give me a scare. They've got lots of terrorist problems, so the word apartheid isn't fair. But since we already moved the embassy, we might as well just leave it there. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I read D'Angelo and Kendi, so I know the right phrases and tack. I've read Kwame Ture. At this point I'm almost a black. But I stopped reading at reparations. You can't make folks give heritage back. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Once I was young and impulsive. I sought justice and action and clout. I went to those socialist meetings. I fought hate from the left with no doubt. But now I've grown older and wiser, and that's why I'm ratting you out. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. And as for indigenous Americans, oh, thank you. We're told about the settlers who came on boats to tame and enslave their new frontier. And then we're told about the natives who broke bread with them, that's why we celebrate every year a day of Thanksgiving for you and me. Well, that sounds a lot better than the history where we slaughtered over 700 young and old to give thanks that the savages' bodies were cold. But folks complain at the dinner table whenever that story is told, 'cause it's easier to feel patriotic than to ever accept the guilt we owe. It's easier to say it's all about family than admit we're disgusted by what we know. So we'll teach your children cute little lies so we can validate the privilege and so no one cries. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic when it's someone else's genocide. We learn in elementary school who found this land. We memorize the 3 ships' names. Then we affirm it with a federal holiday. Hell, some places even do parades. We tell the kids in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Oh, but we omit the slaving and the massacres, forget the rapes, the infections, and the sheer numbers. I guess it's better kids be comfortable than wonder whose descendants have it worse. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic than to talk about slavery or disease. It's easier to just keep the symbols than examine oppression's subtleties. So we'll teach your children cute little lies so we can validate the privilege and so no one cries. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic when it's someone else's genocide. Some folks claim this is a God's country, some God that's imported and white. And 'cause they're descendants, not tormentors, that what they own is right. They'll say it wasn't their fault unless it's by then. Pretend a flag's for heritage instead of the Klan. Justify tradition and you'll never have to worry about the people your traditions made you better than. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic than to sow too much doubt or to scare the kids. It's easier to say it's all just history than examine this really different. So we'll teach your children cute little lies so we can validate the privilege and so no one cries. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic when it's someone else's genocide. And it's easier to feel patriotic than to empathize with what's different. It's easier to swear to God and country than to swear to each other and hope we're fit. So we'll teach the future great big lies so we can maintain this privilege to ignore who dies. 'Cause it's easier to feel patriotic when it's someone else's genocide. Well, it started in a world of kings and slaves, a world of revolutions and unmarked graves, where the power needs to hold on to what it's got, no matter how many of the poor get shot. So the kings paid soldiers for the day-to-day to punish anybody taking wealth away. And if you asked anybody why those cops were around, you'd get the lie from the rich and the truth from the poor right before you'd get put in the ground. The truth that all cops are bad. They don't protect, they don't serve, they just enforce with a gun. All cops are bad. The only good cop isn't one. And soon there were places running without kings that took the same money and did the same thing. Said their king was a market that needs free will, while they sold the few slaves that they didn't kill. Said people weren't people and fought that fight to say who could murder what and call it a right. And if you asked why so many needed to die, you could pay cops to kill and torture the family till you stopped asking why. Why all cops are bad. They don't protect, they don't serve, they just enforce with a gun. All cops are bad. The only good cop isn't one. And as the guns got bigger, they got faster on the trigger. As the laws got tougher, all the cops got rougher. They knew the brutal truth that slavers often know, that the badges and the titles are a rich man's capital show. Because a murderer's a murderer, and you don't get to flout him, or they'll murder you for saying you could ever live without him. See, we need people giving help we seek. We need people who are willing to protect the weak. But when protection is violence, that helps no one. And the one who should be helping's just waving a gun. Then they're serving a king called the status quo, to put you in the ground for helping those below. And if you ask why not answer life for life, then they can shoot you in your bed or in your car on the street and say you're running away from their army, and you might have a knife. Oh, cops are bad. I gotta try that again. We need people giving help we seek. We need people who are willing to protect the weak. But when protection is violence, that helps no one. And the one who should be helping's just waving a gun. Then they're serving a king called the status quo, to put you in the ground for helping those below. And if you ask why not answer life for life, then they can shoot you in your bed or in your car on the street and say you're running away from their army, and you might have a knife. Oh, cops are bad. They don't protect, they don't serve, they just enforce with a gun. Oh, cops are bad. The only good cop isn't one. Oh, cops are bad. They don't protect, they don't serve, they just enforce with a gun. Oh, cops are bad. The only good cop isn't one. Oh, thank you. I'm just glad the emote wall works. Sometimes the emote walls don't work. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of hidden by the fog a little bit. Yeah. All right. Time for some of mine. But first, some drank. So I've become, and since this song is about weed, speaking of weed, I've become very, very happy about the tinctures I've been making. Tinctures kick ass. Like, I'm still probably gonna want to smoke at least until something relating to the plague eases up or something and my anxiety goes down a bit, but let's do it, shall we? Here we go. You gotta protect the children from the world at the world's every expense. You got people to jail you'd rather kill for reasons that always made sense. Oh, the first time they swore it made us murder all night. Then they said commies would use it to weaken our fight. Then they suffocated monkeys and outlawed a rope, and here you are setting fire to a field. Oh, but the weed you burned out the garden had a peaceful smelling smoke. And with all of the hope it leads to all of the folk that you call it a weed is a racist joke. And the animus you let in this crop passes on to those who sow. So how long can you stand to keep your head in the sand before you let the flowers grow? You read what's written by older folk and say it all makes perfect sense. You can never see it when life is a joke until it's at someone's expense. Oh, you'll invoke a god you say created the plant, and then when sick people need it you say God says they can't. Cause with the prisons you own and the pills you need, God forbid you make less on account of greed. Cause the weed you burned out the garden had a piece later in that land of the free. Once you made all your money on the new slavery. After families destroyed and the kids you got shot, you'll be dying alone, pissing on the wrong part. 'Cause the weed you burned out the garden had a peaceful smelling smoke. And with all of the hope it leads to all of the hope that you call it a weed is a racist joke. And the animus you let in this crop passes on to those who sow. So how long can you stand to keep your head in the sand before you let the flowers grow? In the cool shade of the banana tree, on the rugged trail beyond the balcony, a child of the 20th century, a dried up Goliath and a weasel named Fee. Far away in another place, a fading beauty named Millie Grace, a gospel singer with pox on her face and a bamboo cane to help her keep the pace. Fee was a Buddhist prodigy, long past the age of maturity, though he knew someday it would set him free, just like it did for Floyd, the chimpanzee. Whoa, Fee, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. You're racing with the wind, you're flirting with death, so have a cup of coffee and catch your breath. Whoa, Fee, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. You're racing with the wind, you're flirting with death, so have a cup of coffee and catch your breath. Well, Fee met Millie in a bar in Peru, where his heart was a jumping like a kangaroo. It was a sneaking and a jumping like an old Dutch suit. He was a stomping and a thumping in those wooden shoes. Well, Floyd was jealous and all alone. You see, he wanted Millie just for his own, a desperate craving in his bones. Their love, he said, I will not condone. Well, then one day on a ship to Quebec, Floyd found Millie on a lover's trek. He picked up the bottle and broke off the neck. It sliced through the air and Fee hit the deck. Whoa, Fee, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. You want to stay with Millie until you're dead, but you just got a bottle upside the head. Whoa, Fee, you want to live a life that's completely free. You're trying to stay with Millie until you're dead, but you just got a bottle upside the head. Well, Millie turned, began to scream at Floyd. She said, oh, you think you're pretty mean. And though she was as slim as a small string bean, still she slammed him in the face with a nectarine. Floyd fell back over the edge of the ship until he hung from the rails by his fingertip. Millie said, Floyd, I'll make you lose your grip. With this tiny piece of paper I can make you slip. So Millie took the paper and did the deed, and then Floyd hit the water with astonishing speed. And as the shark circled in and began to feed, well, Millie knew her weasel was finally free. Oh, Fee, you try to live a life that's completely free. Well, now Floyd is dead, he's nothing but a ripple, 'cause Millie took that paper and sliced him on the nipple. Whoa, Fee, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. Well, now Floyd is dead, he's nothing but a sliced him on the nipple. Wolfie, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. You're racing with the wind, you're flirting with death. So grab a cup of coffee and catch your breath. Wolfie, you're trying to live a life that's completely free. You're racing with the wind, you're flirting with death. So have a cup of coffee and catch your breath. Alright, here's a good one that I think people are familiar with. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, hang on. My piano just did a weird thing. Hang on. Let's try that again. Alright. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Worm, good morning, how are you? I'm Dr. Worm, I'm interested in things. I'm not a real doctor, but I am a real worm. I am an actual worm. I live like a worm, and I like to play the drums. I think I'm getting good, but I can handle criticism. I'll show you what I know, and you can tell me if you think I'm getting better on the drums. I leave the front unlocked 'cause I can't hear the doorbell. When I get into it, I can't tell if you are watching me twirling the stick. And when I give the signal, my friend Rabbi Vol will play the solo. Go Vol! Someday somebody else besides me will call me by my stage name. They will call me Dr. Worm. Good morning, how are you? I'm Dr. Worm. I'm interested in things. I'm not a real doctor, but I am a real worm. I am an actual worm. I live like a worm, and I like to play the drums. I think I'm getting good, but I can handle criticism. I'll show you what I know, and you can tell me if you think I'm getting better on the drums. I'm not a real doctor, but they call me Dr. Gotta love those. Gotta love those. They Might Be Giants. There is power in a factory, there's power in the land, there's power in the hands of the worker, but it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There's power in our union. Now the lessons of the past were all learned with workers' blood. The mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. From the cities and the farmlands to the trenches full of mud, war has always been the boss's way, sir. The union forever defending our rights. Down with the black leg, all workers unite. With all of our comrades in many far-off lands, there is power in our union. Now I long for the morning that they realize brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us. For who'll defend the worker who cannot organize when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? Money speaks for money, the devil for his own. Who comes to speak for the skin and the bone? Bring a comfort to the grieving, bring a light to the child. There is power in our union, the union forever defending our right. Down with the black leg, all workers unite. With all of our comrades in many far-off lands, there is power in our union. There is power in our union.
Let's go to an oldie, shall we?
Gazing through the window at the world outside, wondering will Mother Earth survive, and hoping that mankind will stop abusing her sometime. After all, there's only just a few of us, and here we are still fighting for our lives, watching all of history repeat itself time after time. I'm just a dreamer, I dream my life away. I'm just a dreamer who dreams of better days. Your heart higher power, maybe God or Jesus Christ or whatever. Look, it doesn't really matter much to me, 'cause without each other's help there'll be no hope for us. I'm living in a dream of fantasy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. If only we could all just find serenity. It would be nice if we could live as one. When will all this anger, hate, and bigotry be gone? I'm just a dreamer, I dream my life away. I'm just a dreamer who dreams of better days. I'm just a dreamer who's searching for the way. I'm just a dreamer who dreams of better days. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Sorry if the stream's getting choppy. All of a sudden my signal is jumping everywhere. Fucking hell. Alright. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No, I don't like that after all. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ooh. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living a life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of humans. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine wet-ass pussy. No, it's okay, Mr. Shapiro, don't cry. I don't know quite who told you that people should be dry. Imagine all the people unafraid of wet-ass pussy. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday we'll join us, and the world can enjoy wet-ass pussy as one. Let's see. I don't get it. Maybe I just need to update OBS finally. I've been putting that off. Alright. Time for a different tune. Once again, apologies for the lag. I'm changing between scene collections. Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat till the neighbor's gonna try a fright. It's our town, everybody scream in our town of probably the USB hub, or just my shitty internet at this point. Because Optimum has internet that's not actually functional for people trying to make a living.
I am the one hiding under your bed, teeth grown sharp and eyes glowing red.
Well, I am the one hiding under your stare, fingers like snakes and spiders in my hair.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. In this town we call home, everyone hail to the pumpkin song. In this town, don't we love it now? Everyone's waiting for the next surprise. The men hiding in the trash can, something's waiting now to pounce, and now you'll scream. This is Halloween, red and black and slimy green. Aren't you scared? Well, that's just fine. Say it once, say it twice, take a chance and roll the dice. Ride with the moon in the dead of night. Everybody scream! Everybody scream! Somebody in chat, just type in the word scream in our town of Halloween. 'Cause
I am the clown with the tearaway face.
Here in a flash and gone without a trace.
I am the who when you call who's there.
and I am the wind blowing through your hair. I am the shadow on the moon at night, filling your dreams to the brim with fright. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Tender lumplings everywhere, life's no fun without a good scare. That's our job, but we're not mean. In
in our town of Halloween. In this town, don't we love it now? Everyone's waiting for the next surprise. Skeleton Jack might catch you in the back and scream like a banshee, make you jump out of your skin. This is Halloween. Everybody scream, won't you please make way for a very special guy. Man Jack is king of the pumpkin patch. Everyone hail to the Pumpkin King now. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. I'm losing my sheet music and now I need to scroll. Halloween, 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 Halloween. And there they are, they're singing, 'cause in this town we call home, everyone hails to the pumpkin song. La 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, 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 Halloween. Oh, hey, Sean, welcome. Welcome. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? All right, quick, there's going to be a delay. Apologies. There we go. I should be back now. And yes, you came in just in time for the end of the Halloween, of This Is Halloween. Exactly. All right. So I'm going to wrap up the piano set, and then I'm going to take a short intermission, and then we will be back with accordion after this song. But welcome, Sean, and everybody, if you're unfamiliar, definitely go check out Anarchist Laboratory. Oh, and Sean, I have a mask to show off that you might appreciate. Let's see. That many people might appreciate, so why not just put it on? Now, in case people are wondering, let's get a close-up. Let's see. Can you see what my forehead says? I know it's a little tough to read, but how's that? That's my mask. I likes it. All right. Then you know what? Let's keep that mask on for this one. All right. In night, wrong key. One sec. There we go. Okay. In 1945, among the Jews who were left alive, there came a visionary man who turned his wrath into a plan. Oh, I actually don't know if I can do that with this mask because I gotta jump around a bunch. So Abakovna was his name, was a partisan of fighting fame. He once was a Vilna rebel Jew, a poet warrior through and through. He met some surviving ghetto fighters, the Zionists and socialists conspired. They gathered in a Lublin flat and around their kitchen table sat, gave themselves a Hebrew name, and swore their business was the same, that vengeance is what God would will. Well, they're God, and so they'd kill 6 million. No, sorry. Vengeance is what God would will. Well, they're a God, and so they'd kill 6 million Germans. Now you might say it was insane. 6 million Germans. That it was misdirected pain. 6 million Germans. They didn't want the war to end. 6 million Germans. No, they wanted one thing: Nakam revenge.
For every Jew the Nazis gassed, for every racist law they passed, for every wrong that wasn't right, for all the dead Nakam would fight. They formed a band of 40 strong to straighten out what had been wrong. They chose to poison water mains, just as the Jews of old were blamed. In Nuremberg and Hamburg town their agents worked the underground. They took up jobs by the riverside and they waited for the poison to arrive. Kovner went to Tel Aviv to see what help he could receive. But the Haganah did not agree to join in his conspiracy to kill 6 million Germans. Now you might say it wasn't right. 6 million Germans. That an eye for an eye just leaves no sight. 6 million Germans. But they didn't want to make amends. 6 million Germans. No, they wanted one thing, Nakam revenge. So Abakovner headed back with vials of poison in his sack, and on a British naval ship. But to his plans the Brits were tipped. The poison fell into the sea, and they took him into custody. Then Kovner spent a year in jail, and so Plan A did not prevail. The rest of the group was all dispersed, and all their backup plans were cursed. But an agent in a bakery secured some poison from Perry, and soon as the poison bread had risen, they took it to an Allied prison. And the various reports have said that there were hundreds of SS prisoners dead. 6 million Germans. Now you might say it wasn't right. 6 million Germans. Ah, I just missed it. And a 1, 2. Sorry, I just skipped all my lyrics to the 6 million Germans. Now you might say that it was wrong. 6 million Germans. But were their actions weak or strong? 6 million Germans. They didn't want to make amends. 6 million Germans. No, they wanted one thing, Nakam revenge. So Nakam it was disbanded. On Palestina's shores they landed, and Abakovner and his crew became like many other Jews. They put aside their rage and hate and worked to build a Jewish state, with Jewish homes and Jewish farms, apartheid laws and nuclear arms. So can vengeance left upon the shelves and be taken out later on someone else? Careful how you read this tale, lest your own prejudice prevail. Look around the world today and see the role that vengeance plays. Cause history has its unpaid debts, so is it really better if we forget the 6 million Germans? Now you might say it was absurd, 6 million Germans, but what became of that dream deferred? 6 million Germans, and how could they just start again? 6 million Germans, they wanted one thing, Nakam revenge! All right, well, after that fun one, we're going to take a brief break, and then I will be back on the accordion. Oh, yeah. Oops, sorry. Technical issues. Please hold. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. There we go. Oh, thank you.
right now. In this shame and fortune, you get a premonition that you're following alien signs. In the solar ocean, you realize the reason that you're going blind is in this desert, safe escaping as the ground starts moving, shaking, falling deeper, floating faster, spreading higher in this linear sphere. In this fever dream, you spin round, you're staring back right now. In this shame and fortune, you get a premonition that you're following alien signs. In the solar ocean, you realize the reason that you're going blind is getting dizzy now. 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 In this shame and fortune, you get a premonition that you're following alien signs. In the solar ocean, you realize the reason that you're going blind is in this shame and fortune, you get a premonition that you're following alien signs. In the solar ocean, you realize the reason that you're going blind is
Antonio Soprano.
I want to help you.
Ads. Nope. Fuck. What the fuck is going on with my YouTube, behave, what are you doing?
Hello, Lakeland. Y'all ready to rock in the Sunshine State? They got rednecks wrestling pythons. They got drunk girls going wild. Party with margarita villas and serial killers while you watch a gator eat a child. They proudly lead the nation in public masturbation. They jerk it up all over the place. Forget the key lime pie, let's get a bath salt high and munch on a stranger's face. Because anything goes in Florida. Come on down and do your worst. Snort a rail of a dolphin, naked and a coffin. Chances are you won't be the first. Doing anything, anywhere, anytime in the valley. They got meth labs and magic kingdoms, titty bars and the KKK. And when shit goes down, you can stand your ground and blow your neighbor away. Because anything goes in Florida. Baby, let the good times roll. In If there's a law, you can duck it. If you catch it, you can fuck it. It's America's glory hole. Talking anything, anywhere, any night, and any day. Any belly.
All right. Wasn't a very long intermission, but it worked for me. 1945, among the Jews who were left alive, there came a visionary man who turned his wrath into a plan. Abakovna was his name. Alright, let's do this. Was a partisan of fighting. Sorry about those YouTube ads, that took me by surprise. Alright. Well, let's stick with the Halloween theme, shall we? Damn it, where's the... There we go. Ah, feel the puta. There we go. In a Halloween of 97, I went as American. The blood of most of South America had my fingers soaking wet. I nearly dropped the bombs I planted in hotels in Cuba then. But Boris Yeltsin licked me clean, and I wiped off our uncut safety net. I went as American, and every white man ponied up. People screamed and ran again, so I spat into the poor man's cup. I went as American to show the other what to fear. Fear and blame remain the same, but the costume changes. Yeah. Hey, Nika, welcome! In Halloween 2001, I went as American. Almost everyone I met supported me post-injury. I saw strangers of all nations scarred with more severe abrasions, offer piles of candy and extend a hand to me. I went as American and I bled those friendships dry. I killed some kids from sharing and I practiced how to tell a lie. I went as American to show the other what to fear. Fear and blame remain the same, but the costume changes, yeah. In Halloween 2006, I went as American. I raped a nation cause its despot gave me too much oil. I killed the kids for standing near the parents I was killing then. Denied the oil existed while I spilled it in the CN soil. I went as American, I murdered out of town and clean. Friends I'd lost for decades were okay with what I mean. I went as American to show the other what to fear. Fear and blame remain the same, but the costume changes, yeah. In Halloween 2012, I went as American. Well, I didn't actually go out, I flew the drone from home. I had just apologized and I wasn't going there again. I'm trying to repair my house and render race a palindrome. I went as American, I murdered out of town and clean. Friends I'd lost for decades were okay with what I mean. I went as American to show the other what to fear. Fear and blame remain the same, but the costume changes, yeah. You know,
I think this Halloween I might go as American. Yeah, you know, the burning cross upon the back and the noose around the neck. I'll help the cops kill children. I'll redefine refugees as rapists and thugs. I'll deny which lives matter, ignore a plague, and sell new drugs. I go as American, but when I set foot on the street, the only folks who've stuck with it have not a single trick or treat. I go as American to show the other what to fear. You know, I think they're getting the message. There's almost no one left this year. Travel North America, you'll see it everywhere. Police kill with impunity, politicians don't care. Whether in a bed or in police custody, pretend a human's criminal, kill them, get off scot-free. Cops who self-investigate their murder-happy gang are magically not guilty no matter whose kids they hang. Some won't call it lynching, but it is, that's clear to see on the badges of the slave patrol. Oh, excuse me, the police. Hey, hey, Daloi Polite means the same thing now as yesterday. Out of our houses into the streets, everybody say, fuck the police. Sandra Bland pulled over by a Texas pig named Brian. Said he was in danger, grand jury says he was lying. The coward pointed weapons while he'd sputter and he'd choke. A screaming, I will light you up, because she kept her smoke. Then she died inside a cell where footage went away. A suicide, well at least that's what Brian's buddies say. Trooper Encinio was set free after he lied. No prison time or punishment, so what, that lady died. The cops investigate and say they did just as they should, when clearly those pigs let a woman die because they could. Hey, hey, Daloi Polite means the same thing now as yesterday. Out of our houses into the streets, everybody say, fuck the police. Daniel Shaver did everything that the coward screamed, but Philip Brailsford murdered him to sate a power dream. Charles Langley gave the order that they murder Shaver. Now Mesa's paying both their pensions, acting like that's braver. Brailsford had a history of beating up teenagers, a Punisher skull on his gun, swastikas come later. But none of that was even entered in his murder trial, so the jury let him off scot-free, bootlicking in style. Hey, hey, Daloi Polite means the same thing now as yesterday. Out of our houses into the streets, everybody say, fuck the police. Freddie Gray in Baltimore was tortured by his killers. Pigs named Nero, Goodson, Porter, Rice, White, and Miller. They bounced him round a metal box and said that he was naughty, then stopped the van so they could shackle his unconscious body. The officers got off scot-free, they're still working a day, and where they're working communities never will be safe. In the U.S., lynching's been illegal for a time, but when the police do it magically, it's not a crime. Hey, hey, Daloi Polite means the same thing now as yesterday. Out of our houses into the streets, Everybody say, fuck the police. People fawn at law and order, ignoring the cops who kill whenever they feel like it. Killing never stops. We pretend we should believe a word these gunmen said, while they keep lynching, raping, shooting, piling up the dead. Then politicians give police big weapons for a war. We try to move some funding and they kill us even more. If there were ever good police, they're lynching helpers now. Neighborhoods are safer where police precincts burn down. Hey, hey, Dalloi Polizei means the same thing now as yesterday. Out of our houses into the streets, everybody say, fuck the police. Hey, Dalloi Polizei, Dalloi Samershavdas, Ache. Out of our houses into the streets, everybody say, fuck the police! Hello, everyone. Hello, please, please. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong button. Let's try that again. Please now, if you will. Please, sorry, just one more. Just give me your attention, and I will introduce to you someone who is a credit to the old red, white, and blue. His head is made of lumber. It's as solid as a rock. He is a common worker, and his name is Mr. Block. And old Block, he thinks he may be president someday. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your block and then jump in the lake. Kindly do it for liberty's sake. Well, Mr. Block is lucky. He found a job, by gee! And the shark got $7 for job and fare and fee. Then they took him to the desert and they dumped him with his truck. But when he tried to find his job, he was sure out of luck. And Block shouted, "That's too raw! I'll fix them with the law!" Oh, come on, man. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your block and then jump in the lake. Kindly do it for liberty's sake. Well, he hiked back to the city, but no one would collect. And Block decreed, "I need my law and order. I deserve respect." Then he got a job that evening and was fired by the night. And he said, "I'll see that Donald Trump. He'll put the bosses right." So Donnie screamed at them all night. And then Block learned that Block was white. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your block and then jump in the lake. Can we do it for liberty's sake? Well, on election day, Block shouted, "Make America great again!" He met his alt-right friends and made the plan to never masturbate with them. And then when the election came and went and all the hate lost Block his work, he looked to his good president and realized that the jerk had found Block suffering. Quite funny. And he only wanted money. I mean, come on, Block. No shit. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your block and then jump in the lake. Can we do it for liberty's sake? Well, Then when the election time was over, and the next round kicked Block out, or at least the man that thought resented him, Block lost his clout. And he thought, well, at least the liberals promised Joe Biden will pay me some. And the liberals made their promises and kept precisely none. And Block replied, well, that's not fair. But did any Democrat care? Well, I mean, they probably did, but it's not like the party was going to let them do anything to fix the actual underlying issues that are funded by their goddamn corporate donors with the, oh, Mr. Black, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your black and then jump in the lake. Can we do it for liberty's sake? I gotta tell you something, though. Mr. Block, he died one evening. I am a little glad to state. You see, the work gave him diseases, but his job in president, no way to medicate. And as Block died, he saw the face of God and cried out in repose, I never met my heroes, God, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. And God, she replied, that's just as well. You'll meet them both in hell. That's right. 'Cause, oh, Mr. Black, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your black and then jump in the lake. Can they do it for liberty's sake? Yes, oh, Mr. Black, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your black and then jump in the lake. Can they do it for liberty's sake? Yes, oh, Mr. Black, you were born by mistake. You take the cake, you make me ache, tie a rock on your block and then jump in the lake. Kindly do it for liberty's sake. Good times, good times. And, yeah, well, you gotta rant, because you gotta get it out here and there, because when it comes to actually trying to talk to some of those electoralists, I mean, I'll tell you what my position is. Oh, thank you. Oh, I need some tea. Let's change it back up. This song is by the most British human being on the face of the planet. His name is Thomas Benjamin Wilde, Esquire. Oh, thank y'all. I've tried, and I've tried even more. I've cried, and I can't recall what for. I've pressed, I've pushed, I've pulled, I've yelled in hopes of some success. The inevitable fact is that it never will impress. I've no more fucks to give, my fucks have runneth dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give, although more fucks I've tried to get. But I'm over my fuck budget, and I'm now in fucking debt. I strive to get everything done. I played by all the rules, and yet I very rarely won. I've pressed, I've pushed, I've screamed, I've squealed, alas, to no avail. I've run like a fool to unequivocally fail. I've no more fucks to give, my fuck fuse has just blown. Been hunting for my fucks all day, but they've upped and fucked off home. I've no more fucks to give, no, my fuck rations are depleted. I've rallied my fuck army, but it's been fucking defeated. The effort has just not been worth the time or the expense. I've exhausted all my energies for minimal recompense. The complete lack of acknowledgement has now fucking stay. I've no more fucks to give. Oh no, my fucks have gone insane. Oh no, wait, they're coming, but oh no, never mind. They're fucking off again. I've no more fucks to give. No, my fucks have all dissolved. I planned many projects, but my fucks won't be involved. I've no more fucks to give, although my fucks have all been spent. They fucked off from the building, and I don't know where they went. I've no more fucks to give. I've no more fucks to give. I've no more fucks. I've no more fucks. I've no more fucks to give. Butchered the ending, but otherwise that felt pretty good.
Applesauce.
Oh, thank you for the applesauce. Jag hade ju missat och märklig dröm. Det började att någon hade varit dum. Tvang hem till min familj för att få tröst. De sa till mig med lugn och sansad röst. Men då, glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort. Glöm inte bort att då är värdelös, värdelös. Det var länge mer med det, ditt jävla svin. Glöm inte bort att då är värdelös, värdelös. Det var länge mer med det, ditt jävla svin. Gick till skolkuratorn och sökte stöd. De andra ville se mig död. Han tog min hand i sin och sa: ja, det var värst, vad det var synd om dig idag. Om de inte till det skulle vara nög, kom en flock elefanter ut från en Volvo 240. De anslöt sig till skolkuratorns lag och sa: ja, det var värst, vad det var synd om dig idag. Men då, glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort. Glöm inte bort att du är värdelös, värdelös. Det var inget mer med det, ditt jävla svin. Glöm inte bort att du är värdelös, värdelös. Och illa omtyckt för den du är, ditt jävla svin. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ja na 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 na. Ja na 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 na. Ja na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ja na 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 na. Glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort, glöm inte bort. Glöm inte bort att du är värdelös, värdelös. Det var länge mer med det, ditt jävla svin. Glöm inte bort att du är värdelös, värdelös. Och illa omtyckt för den du är, ditt jävla svin. Glöm inte bort att du är värdelös, värdelös. Det var länge mer med det, ditt jävla svin.
good time. Alright, here's one I don't normally play on the accordion, but we're gonna try it anyway. Twenty-nine years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope to our destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, or whatever that means. Let's give it a try. And sometimes I cry when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out. What's in my head? I'm feeling a little peculiar. And then I wake up in the morning and I step outside and then I take a deep breath and I get real high and then I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, what's going on? And I say, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, what's going on? And I try. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution, and he prays. Oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day for a revolution, and I say, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, what's going on? And I said, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, what's going on? 29 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope to our destination. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Kay. Thank you for coming. We're almost done. So we've got about 15 minutes left, and I'm switching to guitar, which means I probably don't have enough time to finish the whole set, unless people say donate about $40 between you. Obviously, if you're hurting, I don't want you to try and go into your rainy day fund for me or anything, but if you'd like me to play for more than the 2 hours, then all it takes is some money. And for the record, $40 for a 3-hour concert is a very good deal. Just as $0 for a 2-hour concert is a pretty good deal that I hope to keep up. Alright. And now, Link plays the guitar, because why the hell not? Aw, damn it, didn't you stay in tune? There we go. Here's one that I like to play. Y'all might enjoy it. It's another one of these. 2, a 3, a 4.
Just got home from Illinois, locked the front door, oh boy. Got to sit down, take a rest on the porch. Imagination sets in, pretty soon I'm singing. Do, 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 looking at my back door. There's a giant doing cartwheels, a statue wearing high heels. Look at all those happy creatures dancing on the lawn. Dinosaur Victrola, listening to Buck Owens. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the Ryan spoon? Oh, do, 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 wondrous apparition provided by magician. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? Oh, do, 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 wondrous apparition provided by magician. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Forward troubles Illinois, lock the front door, oh boy. Look at all these happy creatures dancing on the lawn. So bother me tomorrow, today I find no sorrow. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Well, there's tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? Ah, do, 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 wondrous apparitions provided by magician. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Well, there's My Little Pony dancing next to Mario and Yoshi. Won't you take a ride with Crash and Tingle too? Ah, do, 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 bother me tomorrow. Today I buy no sorrow. Do, 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 looking at my back door. Do, 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 looking at my back door. I got handed an Ayn Rand sandwich straight from the can. It tasted so bland. I asked the last to pass me a glass of Engel's Conditions of the Working Class. Then they dragged me into the committee to explain my un-American activity. They're gonna see they made a mistake if they would only let me play my mixtape. I'm not partial to the marshal or the plutocrats in their beaver hats, and the fascists have the outfits, but I don't care for their outfits. What I care about is music, and the communists have the music. I hear a melody and just suddenly I know where I'm supposed to be. 'Cause I don't need a rationale to sing the international. No, all I need is to plug in my headphone jack so I can listen to my backing track. I'm not jealous of the zealots or anarchics with guitar picks, and the fascists have the outfits, but I don't care for their outfits. What I care about is music, and the communists have the music. Oh, the communists have the music. Oh, the communists have the music. I hear a melody and just suddenly I know where I'm supposed to be. 'Cause I'm not partial to the marshal or the plutocrats in their beaver hats. And the fascists have the outfits, but I don't care for their outfits. What I care about is music, and the communists communists have the music. Oh, the communists have the music. Oh, the communists have the music. Time for some water. Let's do, yeah. Hey, during this song, if y'all could, please try and fill up the screen with trans rights emojis. How about that? Because trans rights are human rights. If you don't think so, get fucked, but not in the fun way. Met her at a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes just like cherry cola. C-O-L-A cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance, and I asked her her name, and in a soft brown voice she said Lola. Lola, Lola, L-O-L-A, Lola. I'm not the world's most physical guy, but when she squeezed me tight, she nearly broke my spine. Oh, my Lola, Lola, Lola. Now back then I didn't understand. I thought she talked like a woman, walked like a man. Oh, my Lola, 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 L-O-L-A, Lola. When we drank champagne and danced all night under electric candlelight, then she picked me up, she set me on her knee, then she said, little boy, won't you come home with me? Now I'm not the world's most passionate guy, but when I looked in her eyes, well, I almost fell for my Lola. Lola, Lola, L-O-L-A, Lola. Well, I pushed her away. I went to the door. I fell to the floor. I got down on my knees. Then I looked at her and she hit me. And that's the way that I wanted to stay. And I always wanted to be that way for my Lola. Lola, Lola. Girls will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up, meddled up spectrum. And then there's Lola. Lola, Lola, L-O-L-A, Lola. Well, I'd left home just a week before, and I'd never even kissed somebody before. But Lola smiled and took me by the hand, and she said, little boy, I'm gonna make you a man. Well, now I know that there's not just a woman or man. Now I know what I am, and I'm glad I'm a man, and so is Lola. La, 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 Lola. L-O-L-A, Lola. Lola, la, la, Lola. L-O-L-A, Lola. Lola, L-O-L-A, Lola. Oh, thank you. And yeah, Sean mentioned it earlier, but I should see what the hell is the deal with the massive delay. My delay didn't used to be that bad. I had a friend named Ramblin' Bob.
He used to steal, gamble, and rob. He thought he was the smartest guy around. Well, I found out last Monday Bob got locked up Sunday. They've got him in the jailhouse way downtown. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told him once or twice to stop playing cards and shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. Whiskey and euchre, but shooting dice was his favorite game. Well, he got thrown in jail with nobody to go his bail. All the judge done said that he refused to fine. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told him once or twice to stop playing cards and shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. Met someone named Susie. I said I was the swellest guy around. And well, she wanted me to buy a goose gaggle, and I made the mistake to try and haggle, and then he wouldn't sell, so we grabbed him and just ran out. We're in the jailhouse now. We're in the jailhouse now. Well, I told that judge right to his face, I don't like this fucking place. I'm in the jailhouse now. They kept me in there for years. I suffered my worst fears. You know, the guards who'd use you or pass you around. And with the prison just a seeking profits by filling more cells and coffins, we rioted and burned it to the ground. We're in the jail, we burned the jailhouse down. They shut the jails all down. No, it ain't naive or bravery. It's just saying no to slavery. They shut the jails all down. Abolish prisons. Fuck 12, abolish prisons. All right. Well, I'm afraid it's 3 o'clock, which means, or it's 2 o'clock, which means it's time for our traditional outro. So anyone who, for any reason, is unfamiliar, during this song, what I want you to do is write into the chat shit you learned in school and had to unlearn. So I'm sorry for the big delay on this one. I know that's frustrating. I'll try to get that delay fixed tomorrow if I can. Or at least tomorrow I'll be playing on a phone, so it might not matter. But I'll try and get that delay fixed when I can. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like that praxis rework. Thanks, Trad. Alright, so here we go. Throw me those things you learned in school that were total horseshit you later had to unlearn, and myself and Hobbs
we'll let you know what we think and sing about it. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that Washington never told a lie. I learned that soldiers seldom die. I learned that everybody is free. That's what the teacher said to me, and that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that policemen are my friends. I learned that justice never ends. I learned that murderers pay for their crimes, even if we make a mistake sometimes. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that war is not so bad. I learned about the great ones we have had. We fought in Germany and in France, and someday I might get my chance. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned about a thing called chattel slavery that wasn't about white supremacy, and the black descendants should be glad because it saved them from a life that was at least as bad. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned our government must be strong. It's always right, it's never wrong. Our leaders are the finest men. That's why we elect them again and again. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned we shouldn't help Haiti because they still owed France money, and their disability is their own stuff. It's not like we ever did more than enough, and that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned about the genocide, but still held on to my Italian pride. I learned about Indigenous Peoples Day. Well, it's Columbus's too, and that's why they say. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned about settler holidays and the very many settler ways. I learned that when it's attached to genocide, they'll still want me to party with their white guy. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned about this conservative generation, that the Tea Party was about taxation. It totally wasn't about race, and it never did any kind of about face. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned this country was basically empty, and that people didn't have technology, that they were primitive and needed us, and that's why we rule them with their trust. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that in addition to no technology, the indigenous suffered from illiteracy. They didn't have systems of cipher or rote, and that's why they didn't write like we wrote. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I didn't learn that in 1493 he raped and murdered everything he could see. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that records are written by the ones who win, and that's why we did it all right from the beginning, and that's why the U.S. is right and good, and you should pay attention in history, yes, you should, and that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that MLK was all about peace and he didn't do violence in the streets, and that Malcolm X was a total ass, and that's what I learned in history class. That's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned not to call it genocide. That way the violence is something we can hide. That native people deserved what they got, and that's why they still get kidnapped and shot. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned that words don't mean a thing anymore, at least not in the channel or the online score, that you can debate someone's existence and they'll pay you money if you've got presence, and that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? Today I learned how to debate. It made me feel really great, cause I asserted that someone shouldn't get to live, and that's all the good rhetoric I gotta give. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little child of mine? I learned the USA is righteous, and then I learned that I shouldn't talk about it with my friends who suffer the things that I don't have to see. But I don't need to worry about them, I just need to focus on me. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. Too far. There we go. Still too far. All right. Time for a raid. I will check my Venmo and then. Oh, thank you. All right. Nothing in the Venmo. Okay. Nope, nothing. Oh, thank you. Everybody scream! What? Oh, it didn't work. What the hell? Aw. Why didn't the scream command work? The 1 hour version. Oh, well, maybe I should put up an amount for that, like a $500 donation. So it's $420 for a 2 hour version of Because I Got High. So maybe it'll be $350 or something for the hour version of What Did You Learn in School? All right, where shall we raid? If anyone knows of a fundraiser or mutual aid event going on, please let me know and we'll raid into that. Otherwise, I think we will raid Lost Sioux, because Lost Sioux is fucking awesome. And oh, and they've got Zots on today. So yeah, Zots is doing a really great, is talking about some really important stuff on Sue's channel today. So I definitely encourage people to check that out for sure. All right. Anyone who's unfamiliar with my channel, when we get to the end of a day of music, I play Solidarity Forever while we raid out, and I try to get all the way through it before the timer runs out, which given the delay we've got these days seems very unlikely. Oh, thank you for being here. I'm always happy to see y'all. And when we get in there, make sure to shout Solidarity Forever, and in this case, make sure to scream some land back. All right, here we go. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood to run. There can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun, yet no force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Is there ought to be in common with the greedy parasite who would less than the serfdom, who would crush us with their might? Is there anything of choice but to organize and fight, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They've taken unto millions that they never sought to earn, but without a brain, I'm also sing, book, and turn, big, brick, power, again, and freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. It is we who built the Paris, built the cities where they trade, the mines about the workshops, so we honor not the slave, now we stand on cast and starve, means the wonders many made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. All the world is owned by old roses, our stars alone we have lived with avantage, but the scouts whom a stone is ours, not to slave, but care for us our own, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. In our hands it has a power greater than the horde of gold, greater than the might of armies, magnified 1,000-fold, we can bring to birth a new one from the ash to the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, because Black Lives Matter. Trans men and trans women and women, decolonize your shit, call for land back, make sure to refresh and be awesome people in Sue's chat, cause the union makes us strong.